If you're ambitious and looking for financial freedom but stuck in neutral, this message is for you. Here's the harsh truth. Your clock is ticking and nothing is changing. Your mind is racing with million-dollar ideas. Your heart's burning with ambition, but you're trapped in the same spot you were last year and the year before that and the year before that. Every day you stay frozen, your dreams are slipping away. Your potential? It's gathering dust while you scroll through social media, watching other people live the life you know you should be living. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to break free. No get-rich-quick schemes, no crypto miracles, just the raw, unfiltered truth about how to build real wealth in a world designed to keep you poor. Let me tell you something that might make you angry. You're not lazy. I don't care what society's been telling you. You're trapped in a system that's designed to keep you spinning your wheels on a flat line, convincing you that slow progress is the only way. Want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes? Well, the national debt clock is sitting at 36 trillion right now. But this isn't just about numbers. It's about a fundamental shift happening right under our noses. People are owning fewer houses, fewer cars, and fewer luxuries. The trend of renting instead of owning keeps growing. Here's the part that'll really wake you up. This isn't just happening by accident. The elite have made their plans crystal clear with something they call the Great Reset. Think I'm exaggerating? Imagine this: a world where you don't own anything, where the government could own your home and let someone else live there whenever you're away. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what they're planning. They've sold us this beautiful lie that money doesn't make you happy. Let me translate that for you. They want you dependent on state pensions that barely cover groceries while they accumulate more wealth. The truth? Money equals freedom, and freedom equals happiness. The rich are just going to keep getting richer, so why not join them? I'm going to share 5 phases that will help set you free. Phase 1, breaking free from the hamster wheel. Let me tell you about Steve. Like you, he thought he was doing everything right, making decent money, about $65,000 a year, but he was part of that 58% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. And that number, it's only going to increase over the next few years. Here's what happens when you stay stuck too long. Your income barely keeps up with the monthly expenses. I'm talking about watching your bank account hit near zero 3 days before payday, every single payday. You know that sinking feeling when you check your balance and have to decide between filling up your gas tank or buying groceries? That becomes your normal. Your savings account becomes this revolving door of guilt. You put money in with the best intentions, calling it an emergency fund, but it's really just a temporary holding account for next month's rent. You tell yourself you'll rebuild it next paycheck, but that cycle never ends. Here's something crazy. Even your Xbox is smart enough to save your game progress, but most people can't save their financial future. Think about that for a second. The first action steps, and let me break these down in detail. Start tracking every single dollar obsessively. That $5 coffee, track it. The $2 vending machine snack, track it. That random $10 you lent to your coworker, track it. Most people would be shocked to discover they're spending $300 a month on random purchases they can't even remember making. That gym membership you haven't used in 3 months, luxury. Those food delivery apps charging you $8 in fees to avoid a 10-minute drive, luxury. Your basic grocery bills, utilities, and rent, essential. Be brutal in your honesty here. Now, before I show you exactly how to break free from the system, smash that subscribe button faster than your savings account loses value to inflation. And share this with someone who's tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Phase 2, the ignition phase, where everything changes. Let me show you something that blew Steve's mind, and it might shock you too. There's $5,000 sitting in his savings account. And thanks to inflation eating away at 2.5% every year, in 20 years, that money would only buy what about $3,000 buys today. But here's where it gets interesting. Invest that same $5,000 in the S&P 500, averaging a 7% annual return adjusted for inflation, and you're looking at about $220,000. But that's risky, I hear you say. Well, let me tell you what's really risky: staying stuck in a system designed to keep you poor. Here's something nobody warns you about. When you start this journey, your friends might become your biggest obstacles. Not because they're bad people, but because your growth forces them to face their own stagnation. Take Mike, another one of my mentees. When he started investing, instead of blowing his money at bars every weekend, his friends went through these exact stages. First, the concern stage. Bro, are you okay? You've changed. Don't you want to live a little? Life's too short to always think about money. Second, the resistance stage. My cousin lost everything in the stock market. Real estate is a bubble waiting to pop. You're getting too materialistic. And lastly, the distance stage. They stop inviting you to expensive outings. They make jokes about your rich person goals. They try to drag you back to their level. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. You need to surround yourself with people who pull you up, not drag you down. Phase 3, the 3 C's revolution. Now, I need to give credit where credit is due. I didn't come up with these 3 C's. I actually heard it from one of my YouTube mentors, Mark Tilbury, and I am simply passing it along with my viewpoints. This is where we separate the players from the spectators. Remember, what got you here won't get you there. You need 3 things: cash flow, connections, and confidence. Let me show you exactly how Steve turned his skills into cold, hard cash. But first, understand this. In these times of economic uncertainty, businesses are desperate for anything that boosts their profits. Here's how he capitalized on that. Social media management. $500 to $2,000 a month. He started with one local restaurant at $500 a month. His basic package, 3 posts per week and engagement monitoring. Then he added story creation and analytics at $1,000 a month. Finally, full service with ad management at about $2,000 a month. But what if I don't know social media, you might ask? Well, here's the secret. Nobody really does. It changes too damn fast. What matters is results. Here's a couple other real money makers. Video editing, $30 to $100 per hour. Start with simple edits for YouTubers. For example, basic cuts and transitions, $30 an hour. Then add motion graphics at $50 an hour, or full production at $100 per hour. Maybe even offer wedding videos at $500 to $1,000 per event. How about Facebook ads for businesses? Anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 per month per client. This is where the real money is. And here's a great strategy. Start with small ad spends, $500 to $1,000. Charge a 20% management fee and track every metric obsessively. Then simply scale what works, cut what doesn't, and use results to attract bigger clients. Now, let's dive into the subject of connections. Here's something that changed my life. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If that thought makes you uncomfortable, good, it should. Let me show you how Aram, another mentee, completely transformed his network in 90 days. It was a LinkedIn strategy, 30 minutes daily. But LinkedIn is boring. I hear you, but here's how to make it print money. Find 5 industry leaders in your field and comment thoughtfully on their posts. Real insights, not just great posts. Share 1 piece of valuable content daily. Direct message 3 to 5 new potential connections and document your wins and learnings. The results? In 3 months, he landed a $5,000 consulting gig from a single comment. Why? Because while others were posting motivational quotes, he was providing real value. Let's talk about what really separates those who make it from those who don't. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's confidence. But here's the thing. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, like a muscle. Take risks that make sense. Start with small wins. Document your successes. Learn from your failures. Step out of your comfort zone regularly and push yourself to pitch to bigger clients. Phase 4, the wealth expansion phase. This is where your money starts to work harder than you do. Remember this. What got you here won't get you to the next level. You need to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Let me break this down into 2 paths. First, the diversification route for smart players. 40% in growth engines. And this isn't just throwing money at random stocks. Here's our exact strategy. S&P 500 index funds, core foundation, international market exposure, global diversification, small cap growth funds, higher growth potential, and sector-specific ETFs, targeted opportunities. 30% in real estate without being a landlord. REITs for passive income. Start with $100. Real estate crowdfunding platforms, property development trust. Then focus on monthly cash flow. 20% in safety nets. Think of this as your financial insurance. Government bonds for stability, corporate bonds for higher yields, municipal bonds for tax advantages, and high yield savings for liquidity. 10% in future bets. This is your moonshot money. Limited crypto exposure, never more than you can lose. Angel investments in promising startups, precious metals as a hedge, and innovation funds focused on future tech. Now, how about the high conviction play for the brave? This is how Musk and Bezos built their empires. They bet big on what they knew deeply. Here's how to do it safely. First is the research phase. Study one industry obsessively. Learn every player, every trend. Understand the problems deeply. Find your unique angle and build expertise that can't be copied. Second is the execution phase. Start with 5% of your portfolio. Scale what works aggressively. Cut losses quickly. Double down on proven winners and always have an exit strategy. Phase 5, the freedom phase. This is where it all comes together. When your passive income exceeds your expenses, you've hit what I call the freedom number. But here's what nobody tells you about reaching this stage. It's not about sitting on a beach sipping margaritas, though you can do that in some cases, maybe. But really at this point, it all comes down to legacy building. Document your knowledge. Create educational content, mentor others actively, build lasting institutions, and develop generational wealth strategies. Remember Steve from earlier? He just hit his freedom number last month. Know what he did to celebrate? Started a program teaching digital marketing to single dads. That's what real wealth looks like. Look, you've got two choices right now. You can close this and go back to your regular life, back to watching your bank account do that monthly limbo dance, or you can take the first step towards something better. Your immediate next steps, in my experienced millionaire opinion, would be to, number one, start tracking every single expense today. Research one side hustle opportunity. Connect with one person who inspires you. Make your first investment, no matter how small. And last, begin building your emergency fund. And if you want to learn more about any of the steps I just mentioned or have some additional ideas, please let me know in the comments below. And hey, the rich are getting richer every single day. Every minute you wait is another minute they're pulling ahead. But here's the good news. You've got the roadmap now. The same one Steve used, the same one Mike used, the same one I used. Remember, your Xbox saves progress automatically. Isn't it time you started saving your financial future just as systematically? The question isn't whether this works. The question is, are you ready to work on it? Check out this video for some great AI side hustle ideas. Your clock is ticking, but your future, that's still unwritten. What's your next move?